Okay, imagine this. A movie where really the whole thing happens in just one small room.
Uh-huh.
No explosions, no car chases, honestly, barely any music for most of it.
Right.
And yet, somehow, for 2 hours, you're just completely gripped. It's pure tension.
That's 12 Angry Men, the 1957 classic.
Yeah.
It's just 12 guys, one tiny hot room, one murder case.
Hmm.
But it's also like a masterclass in human psychology
Mm.
and conflict.
Yeah, so we're diving into that. We're back in a New York City courthouse, the 1950s,
Uh-huh.
and the case involves an 18-year-old boy, poor background, grew up in the slums, and he's accused of killing his own father, patricide, with a knife.
And the key thing right at the start is that it looks pretty straightforward,
Yeah,
on the
seems
surface.
open and shut.
Yeah, the evidence seems convincing. There's this unique-looking switchblade, a couple of witnesses.
Yeah.
The timeline seems solid, so the
Oh,
jury, they're mostly ready to vote guilty, do their civic duty, and frankly, just go home.
But then you get that one voice. The doubt. Juror number 8, Henry Fonda's character. He just asks this simple question that kind of throws a wrench in everything. Wait a minute. What if the kid isn't guilty?
And that little question, that seed of doubt, it isn't just about being careful. It ignites, well, a storm in that room.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack how this film turns what seems like a simple legal choice into this intense battle, logic versus pride versus, deep-seated prejudice.
Exactly. And the analysis we've looked at basically calls it the definitive study on how persuasion, real persuasion, based on reason, can actually change people's minds, even deeply held beliefs.
Okay, so let's dig in. And I think we have to start with the setting itself because that room, it's not just wallpaper, is it? It's almost like another character or even a weapon.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got these 12 strangers, right?
Yeah.
Locked in this tiny, hot, stuffy room. It's summer.
Mhm.
And the fan they desperately need doesn't even work.
Ah.
Yeah, that physical discomfort is not just background noise. It's a key part of the pressure cooker. It cranks up the tension.
Yeah, the sources we read kept mentioning that you can almost feel the room getting hotter, smaller as you watch. And that heat just seems to burn away any politeness, any patience.
It really does. And it forces these guys to face the stakes.
Yeah.
This is life or death, while they're also just physically miserable.
And that misery, it puts everyone's personalities right under a microscope, doesn't it? They're not just looking at facts. They're bringing all their own stuff, their own baggage into that room.
Totally. So emotion, ego, it all starts getting tangled up with trying to find justice. It's immediate conflict.
And you see these archetypes emerge so quickly, like the loud, angry one, juror 3, who just wants to get it over with, almost seems to enjoy the idea of guilty.
Right, or juror 10, who's just dripping with this awful prejudice against anyone from a different background.
Yeah. And maybe the most complex one, psychologically, is the juror whose judgment seems totally clouded by his own life.
You mean juror 3 again? With his relationship with his son?
Exactly. His anger at the defendant feels so much like it's really about his own broken relationship with his estranged son. It's projection, pure and simple.
That's such a critical point. It means the first real conflict isn't even about the evidence against the boy. It's about the character flaws of the jurors coming out.
Yeah, the focus shifts, like you said. It goes from, is the kid guilty, pretty quickly, to something more like, are we guilty? Of rushing this, of being unfair.
Which leads us straight into that core battle, right?
Yeah.
Logic versus bias. Because it becomes painfully obvious that for some of these jurors, the evidence isn't the driver, it's prejudice.
Yes. That awful line someone quotes, you can't trust people from slums. Ugh.
It's chilling.
Yeah.
And it has zero to do with the knife, the witnesses, any facts.
Yeah.
It's just raw socioeconomic bias. And juror 8 somehow has to fight that poison without getting angry and poisonous himself.
And that's where his technique is just,
Right.
well, it's the master class. Like we said, he doesn't shout back. He doesn't insult.
Mhm.
He just keeps asking questions, simple questions. He listens. And maybe most importantly, he brings empathy into this room that's just boiling with anger.
And what's really interesting is he never says, I know the boy is innocent. He just says he isn't sure he's guilty. He's introducing doubt. He forces them to slow down, to actually look at the assumptions they didn't even realize they were making.
And he does it piece by piece, doesn't he? Methodically taking apart the prosecution's case, like that switchblade.
Exactly. The unique murder weapon, that's a huge point.
Yeah, talk about that. How does he dismantle that?
Well, he just calmly demonstrates it wasn't unique at all. He pulls out an identical knife.
Wow.
Bought it in a pawn shop, just blocks from where the kid lives.
Yeah.
It's not just a movie moment, it's pure logic. If the knife isn't rare, then the whole idea that it had to be the boy's knife just collapses. Reasonable doubt enters the room.
Okay, so the knife is one pillar, then he goes after the witnesses, right? The ones that seem so solid at first.
Yeah, the two key witnesses. First, the old man downstairs. Claimed he heard the fight, heard the body fall, then rushed to his door and saw the boy running away, all supposedly in 15 seconds.
But Juror 8 doesn't just call him a liar.
No, that's key. He doesn't attack the person. He tests the claim. He has them time it. He recreates the scene and then points out the crucial context. The witness had had a stroke. He walked with a limp. Could he really have gotten to the door that fast?
Ah, okay. So it raises doubt about the physical possibility.
Right, and maybe, just maybe, it hints at something else.